Hello everyone and welcome to another episode. What I have on the bench today is a weird chip, and I believe it should be uh, a games console that I have found browsing over the local flea market yesterday, and I got it for $5 as it is, with no accessories, no cables, anything. In It's pretty filthy and dirty. I should clean it. I'm wondering what this is all about. It looks like a knockoff for the Wii console. And yesterday I was trying to find some more information about MiWi, and what came up over the web was something different, another different shape and another kind of console, not this one. So I don't know if this is the previous model or something like that. I don't know anything about this, so I'm gonna clean it first and start playing a bit. Let's have a look around it and see if we have absolutely any chance of getting this working. Apparently, uh, I have no joypads or joysticks or something to connect, so I don't know if this is going to be some kind of weird experiment. I can see there is an AV socket on the back, which actually looks like a stereo type of or mono type of jack. Um, Next to it there is just a hole with some glue around it. Probably someone was trying to do something about this. And we have a DC connector, as it is marked for power, which is a USB type. And actually it looks like the USB 2 type, the old-fashioned way we used to connect hard drives and peripherals to our PCs. But it says nothing like USB or connection here. It says DC with markings for negative and positive. That's very weird. And I can tell that all the pins are in place. So if only negative and positive is needed, why we need a connector with all the rest of the pins present? That's another question. The AV connector, as I said, could be stereo type, carrying 3 signals and ground, or the monotype, just AV. But I doubt it, because it should have sound as well. And this hole here, I don't know, someone tried to do something like putting a switch or something, I don't know what. There's some glue around it. So first things first, I need to clean it up. And what I was thinking, we're going to have today a pretty funny but also interesting reverse engineering process, let's call it this way, and find out what this console consists of and what it can do. I can clearly see here there is an infrared detection device or receiver. I can see a LED light, and I can see a couple of holes, mystery holes, on the left and on the right. So I can only assume the LED indicator is to indicate that the console is on. And let's say that the infrared receiver controls the movement for the player, because it receives the signals coming from the infrared joypads that apparently we don't have, and we cannot test it today. But as I said, we can at least decipher this thing and see what it consists of. Here is a reset button, which comes right back, bounces back, which is good, and supposedly resets the console. And here is the on-off switch, the only interaction you can have apart from the joypads. On-off should stay down, and I think it stays down. Alright, so might be working as well. So hopefully we can learn something out of this experiment today in this video. This thing is also so light you wouldn't believe. I mean, it's so light, like there's nothing in there. And I believe it follows the same principle like these guys in China used to do back in the days. They copied games, popular consoles, putting into a single chip device, which is proprietary chip. You cannot change it, you cannot read it, you cannot do anything with it, since it's covered with silicon for the most part, and if it's fried or gone or fails, it's gone forever. And so this chip is the actual controller, the video graphics generator, you name it, the RAM, you name it, and that's pretty much what it is. And our guy is 90 grams, not even 100. I mean, it's like thin air in the box. It's like, it feels like there is nothing inside there. So okay, but then again, as I said, it's just a chip and some circuitry for the power, and that's pretty much what it is, and that's the way they used to build them. But I couldn't resist. I thought I should weight it using the kitchen scale, and it's 90 grams. This is unbelievable. I haven't seen this before. Actually, it is true, I haven't seen this before somewhere. So it would be an interesting reverse engineering project today. Although to me, it looks like I don't have high hopes it's going to be something that is going to be working, but at least I can say I tried. So our thin and light guy should go over this experiment. I'm going to clean it first and try to connect some cables. And now our little guy is standing vertically, can be standing like this, so they copied also the ability, like the other consoles, for the device to be placed vertically or horizontally, which is pretty nice. Good thinking. It's clean, I can deal with it now, technically speaking. Those holes, I was looking at the hole, it was nothing made by the previous owner or something, and then I saw this other couple of holes on the front panel, and I guess those holes are leftovers, probably from a previous version which used to have controllers with cables. That's my best guess. So there was player 1, player 2. I'm just guessing, I don't know, but it looks like those holes are leftovers. There are no screws, so we cannot open it up. It's fixed plastic, and I'm not going to attempt any kind of surgery today. I just don't want to break it just yet. And so now that it's clean, we can start looking at the possibilities to make it work. Back to the basics, we have a mini USB, the old version 2 type here. I'm guessing that not all the pins are used because we have no transfer rate, so we don't have actual media, nothing like SD cards or anything to write games or read games from, and so I believe the USB is used only for power supply purposes. So that much for the USB. That's my wild guess. We will find out soon. And we should also try to connect a mono jack here or stereo and see what signals are there coming in or coming out, I'm sorry, or whatever is coming out from the console to the cable, and then try to connect it to a regular TV, like my TV I have here in the lab. As I said before, I don't have high hopes. I don't know anything about this. I'm just guessing that if this is a mono jack, we have 2 signals. If it's a stereo, I mean 1 signal plus ground. If it's a stereo type that is needed, then we have 3 signals, probably video and audio and ground coming out, and so we can explore our options and see what happens if we try to connect this to a regular TV. But this is just, as I said, a funny and also at the same time interesting reverse engineering on something that is pretty much simple, but I haven't seen before. And I do insist that if we plug the USB cable onto my computer, there is no new device found or anything, because there is no firmware to indicate that, but rather to have just power coming inside this little fellow. And I'm guessing that what used to be there as power source could be the regular type of phone charger, which means this is a low consumption, low power device around 600 milliamps, or it could be even less, around 450 milliamps, I don't know. So I have connected quite short for the moment USB cable onto my tower PC, which is right next to the desk, and I can only get that far. I should get an extender. I have one somewhere here later on, but for now it's good enough to test the console. Let's try to press the button, and I can see the LED indicator came up, which is a good thing, and unexpected, if you ask me, totally unexpected, but it's good. Let me do it a couple of times, because now really I don't trust it, but it's coming and going, and it's on and off, and let's say that this thing can be powered up. We managed to boot up the console, so that's getting more and more interesting as it goes. And now I really want to see what might be the output of this thing. So now that we have power, somehow I need to check the signals coming from the so-called single socket, which is called AV, which is audio video, but in which form, and what can we do? Can we hook it up on the TV and get a signal? Really? I mean, that would be something. So yeah, I'll get the extender so I can make this USB cable longer, and I should try to check the signals coming from the AV socket, or I would say the AV jack, because this is what it is, just a jack. So I sorted out the problem with the extender. Now I can have it closer to the TV. And I was about to make a cable, my own cable, it's still on, by the way, to have it fixed like a stereo type of jack. Those are the audio and video inputs coming from the TV right here. And then I thought that there must have been somewhere this cable, and I managed to find it. This came together with my TV back in the day, and supposedly this is something that goes to a camera or something, and it's the stereotype 3 signals plus ground, which means composite picture and left and right channel. So we have yellow for the image, white and red left and right channels for the audio. And so this is a ready-made cable, definitely not made and not compatible with this guy, but at least this can carry the signals out, right, and we can investigate. So the only thing is to find out if the female jack carries mono or stereo signals, like 1 plus ground or 2 plus ground. But I believe if this is audio and video like it says it should be, then it should be stereo, so stereo sound coming out. So definitely we need 3 signals plus common ground. So I believe if we try to connect one of these, the yellow one, to one of these, I'm pretty sure we can get the right combination, because what are the odds the yellow is for the yellow and the rest for the audio? I believe it's not going to be this way, because as I said, this cable was made for something else, and I believe it was a camera. So let's start by taking the yellow into yellow and connect those and try the AV input on the TV and see what happens as we have the first connection made. And I believe that, well, I'm not so lucky, and it's a matter of compatibility again. It won't be like this, and have no signal, absolutely no signal. So it doesn't matter, might be some other combination. I'm pretty sure it should be another combination. So we should try again yellow coming from the TV with white this time coming from the AV output of the game console. So let's try this one. It's either video or audio. Let's find out. If we have something on the screen, even scrambled images, we can understand that this is not working, and at least we know that it's not working, and we found the right video combination. But then again, no signal, so white is not the one. Let's try the red, which carries whatever signal is coming out at this point, and that will be the last chance for us to get something out of this console. So let's say that yellow and white are the audio and the red is video, and yes, we have a signal. I don't believe this is working. This thing is working. I mean, really now? Wow, we have a signal, and the red was the right one. Just out of curiosity, 362 games, and this little hand indicates where to start. The first one out of 362 games built in. Are you kidding me? And this thing can give us an output and play games on it? I mean, okay, that's thrilling. That is a thrilling moment. So it worked. It works, and the trick with the ready-made cable, of course, made for another device, but still, now works. Unbelievable. Let's try the sound now. White for white, and what is left is yellow for red. So that is its own combination, the way it carries the signals out. And let me hear the sound, and apparently we have sound. I don't believe this is happening. Well, it's a working unit. The only thing now that I'm missing is this couple of, even one would be enough, the joypads, and then I can play. Sorry, I had the volume too low, so you can hear this is an infinite loop of the same silly music that plays as a loop. Not much of sound capabilities, as you can tell. Let me pump it up a bit, but better than nothing. So I'm gonna leave the the music playing for a little while, and then we can call it a wrap. And I was really about to close this episode and this session and call it a wrap for the day, and then I found out that this console is full of surprises, and so I accidentally pressed some buttons on the TV controller, and something switched on the menu, and it is weird. But I can explain. Remember, we have here the infrared reception for the gamepads, and this thing is controlled by two infrared gamepads for player 1 and 2, right? And so just by pressing accidentally some keys, as I said, on the TV controller, something jumped and something was moving onto the menu. And remember, all devices like the TV controllers that have the infrared LED can send instructions. And now look what is happening if I press, for example, channel up or channel down. It can be recognized by the console, and it moves over to the next page of games, and then the next page of games, and then the next page of games. It's unbelievable. Of course, the TV indicates that there is no such option to change the channel at this point, but the MiWi console thinks that we are pressing page down or something, and so it moves around the menu. Unbelievable. So maybe some other brand of TV controller would work as a joystick. I don't know, but it's interesting how cheap and how unreliable this console is. It can detect the signals and work over the signals of a regular TV controller. Unbelievable. Take a look at this. And it moves around the menu. So thanks for watching, guys. I think it was more than interesting what we have done here today. Brought back into life this little I wouldn't call it a bootleg, but rather a knockoff of the Nintendo Wii cheap Chinese console, and it was quite interesting and how cheap it is. And it doesn't even have a dedicated frequency for its own controllers. I mean, anyways, I hope you found this entertaining and useful and funny at the same time today. Thank you very much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't done that yet, and I'm pretty sure I can catch you with another video with another repair, review, demo or modification over some other system. Thanks for watching. Bye.